Hey, everybody. Hey, you're in it this time.
Yeah. I readjusted to make sure.
He scooted way over to make sure he
the,
wasn't in the next door video.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn, says the person from the next video over. Like, I'm imagining. Well, hey, everybody. It's fucking Friday. Finally.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go to the club.
This is like the longest week ever, I swear to
Yeah.
God. You know what I mean? It seemed like. But, yeah, we're getting ready to go to Memento Mori this evening after the show. So that's why we're all decked out. Well, I'm decked out. You're always
You guys should see what she's got, what I'm seeing right now. She's wearing this dress. It's slit all the way up the side. It goes slit all the way up almost to her armpit. Right now she's got a corset on over it. You could wear it either way. It looked good. It looked good either way. But without that corset, it's still fucking sexy. It looked like she's got a loincloth on. And with a bunch of like, put your leg up in there and show them the fishnets. Or the, she's got snake fishnets.
Yeah. Well, I forgot I had these. This is what happened.
Show.
I forgot. Well, I don't know if I can do that.
You can't do
Because
that?
it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can really see him, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a snake. I forgot what happened remember back on Halloween when I did my Medusa costume? And I actually bought a bulk pack of snake fishnet tights. I think it was a 6-pack. Because I used one of them for sleeves and I used one of them for tights. And I forgot that I still had like 3 or 4 pairs of them that were virgin that I had not worn before.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, look at these. So I was like, go me. I'm going to wear that. I haven't worn this dress out yet. So we'll see how it goes. Have I? No.
No, you never went out.
No. It's funny how this dress came about was we saw a girl at Mannequins that had it on.
Yeah.
And Tom was like, "Ooh, I like that," and it's like, "I think that would look really good on you." So he goes up to. This is what he does, like to girls all the time if they're wearing like a cool outfit. He always goes up and he's like, "Where did you get that?" Like, you know,
I want to get that for my girlfriend.
I want to get that for my girlfriend. And so like, and most people are like, really,
they love
really,
it.
Yeah.
The girls love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she told me where she got it. She got it from Shein.
Yeah.
It's an app you download.
Yeah.
And that dress was $10.
Yeah.
$10.
Subsequently, we saw another
They
woman.
got all kinds of shit on there.
Another woman at Mannequins with the same dress on.
Yeah.
Although I didn't immediately know it was the same one because she had a waist cincher on over it, and I think the other girl was like, I mean, you could dress it up like different ways, so it wouldn't look exactly
Why don't you back up a little bit and show it to him?
Well, my corset's not tight.
It's okay.
That's why.
It's tight enough. It's tight enough. It looks all right.
Well, I don't really. This is not.
We were talking about it.
Not authorized.
It's fucking hot though. It's hot.
Yeah. It's
Back
just
up.
kind of move.
Yeah, back up as much as you can so they can see.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah. Turn sideways. Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah, that shit's slit. It all the way up to here. It looks really good. Other side too. Show me the other side.
Why? It looks the same.
Yeah.
It's the same. You're always kind of.
That's a hot dress. I like it. I'm glad that I went out of my way to go attack that other woman. Says, "Where'd you get that dress?" And she goes, "You never believe where I got this dress." And she said, "You never believe how much I paid for it." And I said, "No shit." And she goes, "It was $10." I was like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah." It was, and she goes, and I friended her on Instagram, and she goes, "I'll send you the link." And I said, "Okay." She wasn't from here. She was from out of town. Next day, fucking, I said, "Hey, where's the link?" She sent me the link back. And she goes, "You got to get this app before you can access it. It's just a Chinese fucking store called Shein. And they got all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah, we were looking on there last night, man. They got all kinds of stuff.
They got a goth section. They got like a punk rock section, a fairy core section, and it's got a lot of shit on there. And it's not high dollar stuff. It's basic stuff.
Yeah.
Like stockings and bras. And
but if you're
dresses.
looking to build
a big wardrobe quickly,
for not a lot of money, then that's like
that's
a good.
Where you go. Yeah.
Clothes probably aren't going to last that long, but you know what I mean.
Most of the girls on there will take a picture when they get it and wear it, and then they'll tell you if the quality's good. And so far, most of the feedback people said this quality's good. Quality's good for what it is. It's just overstock stuff and stuff that.
But they had a lot of really nice shit.
It's not. You're not talking about Black Rose or fucking or what's that other company, Shrine. That's not what we're talking about. It's just club clothes, and they even have Demonia knockoff boots. They say the pleather is not quite as thick, but they get the job done for $30-$40 instead of $100. It's that kind of stuff.
Julianne said it would be cool to see a Sidetracks show where you're also cooking something from your cookbook. We'll have to do that one of these days, especially now that we have that little bitty camera.
Yeah, the action cam. You can't live stream from it though. Not unless it's on a wire. We have to bring it in. It's doing cooking shows live is very difficult, and the lighting has to be just right because food looks like shit on video. Unless
Well,
the
everybody
lighting is
knows
perfect,
that.
it just looks terrible.
Which is hilarious.
Go try to take a photograph of a pizza, and you tell me if you'd eat that. You can take a photograph.
Well, shit, people do it every day. They post like pictures of their food all over Instagram and TikTok and stuff.
There is a food setting.
Yeah.
And I think they're using that a lot. It's probably better than it used to be. But it used to be taking a picture of a fucking pizza, man. It looked like a fucking... looked like a stain or something. Just yellow round top of a zit or something.
Yeah, it is very hard to... I mean, that's why that's a whole, like, specialty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like food photographers.
Yeah, most of those photographs of food that you're seeing are not food. Like the ice cream is always Crisco.
Well, like I
Lard.
said, at least I don't know about, as far as photographs go, but I know that as far as video advertising, TV commercials, stuff like that, the thing that you're advertising, like say if you're Breyers and you're doing an ice cream commercial, you have to show the ice cream in there. Like other stuff can be fake. You know what I mean? But the thing that you're showing, I think legally it has to actually be the thing.
I remembered that when they were showing shit like ranch dressing being poured slowly in a television commercial, that's not ranch dressing, that's White House paint, latex paint.
Well, now
fucking green flakes.
One thing
that they put
that
in
they
there.
do that they can get away with that I've heard in a cereal commercial, like they have to show the actual cereal, but because they're not selling the milk can just be like Elmer's glue or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the cereal has to be real.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because when you photograph milk, or it's like has a weird bluish tinge.
Yeah.
Like the milk in Star Wars.
And then they're showing stuff in slow motion sometimes. You don't realize that it's in slow motion, but they'll show the milk pouring in slow motion slightly. And real milk doesn't look good fucking flowing in slow motion, but maybe Elmer's glue would look a lot better.
Well, yeah, because it has
It looks
more
thicker,
weight,
richer, yeah.
more viscosity.
Yeah, right.
Camp Guy said they airbrush a bunch of subliminal stuff. Yeah, they probably do.
They used to.
Yeah. I mean...
Man, he's talking about all this stuff that was, like airbrushing and the subliminal shit and all this, which was really artistic. They had to hire artists back then to do just like a fucking cigarette poster. Shit was real well done, But I was seeing this program last night. It was on Event Horizon, and they had a guy who was in this big AI project, and he knows exactly the state of AI, of artificial intelligence, and it's way ahead of what I thought. He said this thing will probably surpass humans within months, maybe 3 years. And it's better at things that they never guessed it would be good at. They have a bunch of different ones that they're working with. But he says the shit's scary. He's working on it. He says, yeah, it's scary. We need to watch it. He goes, we shouldn't give this thing any power. Like, you don't want to give it control of fucking nuclear weapons or anything.
Yeah, we've all seen Terminator.
Yeah. It would do things like, well, they have AI too, so you know what? To be faster than that, I'm going to go ahead and launch. It would do things like that. But what's weird is that what this AI is good at is exactly the opposite of what we were expecting. It's good at art and philosophy and conversational stuff and things that were like uniquely human. That's what it's good at. It's good at high-level executive management. This thing could get rid of a CEO. It would get rid of all office workers, everything. Any kind of fucking interior designer, any sales manager, it'll replace everybody. He said the only thing, and this is a dude, you can go watch Event Horizon. It's a good channel on YouTube. He's got all these guests that are from the science world. And he said, people are always worried about, well, all this manual labor is going to be obsolete because of robots. He says, no, all the intellectual shit's going to go obsolete because of AI. What will not go obsolete is manual labor. Things like picking fruit, painting houses, digging pipes, fixing stuff, fixing broken stuff. and it just said the janitorial work, all that shit's safe. When this AI comes out and they start putting it in charge of shit, it's going to be devastating. I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's going to be just like in Dune. They're going to have the Butlerian Jihad, where they're going to make it illegal to do AI. They had an AI thing. It's making artwork, and it does amazing art.
Zach says, I've been playing with an AI music thing Google just dropped. Yeah, I was hearing about that. I haven't played with it yet, but yeah. He said it's really cool, but it only produces 19-second clips so far. Yeah, I think like there's ones that you can pay for that will come up with songs, but I've never really heard anything that it produced, so I'm not really sure.
It'll probably get rid of all fucking cam work and porn stars, because it will have the ability to fake a video image of a porn act, and you would believe it. Evidently, that's how good it is, that you would believe that was a real person, and it could do it in all different kind of formats to make it look like low res video, or to make it look like old 70s film. That it could fake any image and make characters that are accurate, and then you could talk to them live, and they would interact with you. So you wouldn't know it, but you'd be talking to an AI cam girl. It's just a robot. That's how good it is. They said the conversation's very good. They said that the robotics is actually behind the AI stuff. But once they have the robotics, that shit's going to replace humans, or be a threat to a human. It could replace you. I wouldn't want that.
I've been messing around with one of those AI art programs. It comes up with some cool shit. Like some of the stuff it comes up with, it's still not, depending on what filter you use, it's still not super good at humans, but, like doing human faces that don't look unsettling.
Yeah.
But some of the shit's pretty good, though.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. I'm not really sure, like, if you don't put a source photo in, which sometimes I don't because I want to see how it comes out, but I'm not entirely sure, like, where it's drawing some of this. No, yeah. Where it's drawing, like, the images from. Okay. You know what I mean?
This guy is, I forgot what, I think it's MIT, or it has something to do with Harvard. I think it's like the top AI thing going on, and they have about 4 or 5 different computers that they're working with, and each one's different, but he said some of them are just ready to go, and they're going to exceed humans. He's kind of worried about it, and he knows that he's working on it, and they're kind of worried about it.
Well, I don't know. I don't worry about stuff
it's
like that
itself,
because one, there's nothing I can do about it, and two, I just tell myself, going back through history, like, people have always worried about, like, new technology and shit, and most of the time, we just adapted to it eventually.
Well, they had it reading parts of the internet, and they were trying to get it to do, like, fucking law thesis and shit like that, and it would start not only doing law, but then other things that they didn't expect, like, it's also talking about philosophy, and it starts going into other things. It's learning. It's actually teaching itself. And they don't really, and the guy was amazed. He says, well, in biology and human evolution, we're talking about how, how difficult it was for intelligence to occur in humans. And he says maybe what we're seeing now, probably not difficult to do at all. This basically simple AI algorithm is fucking doing it. It has a lot of complicated little subroutines and stuff, but it's doing a much better job, and it's doing it a lot faster. It's evolving. Whether or not it's conscious, I don't think so. I think it has to have quantum computing involved. In other words, to give it like a sense of being, but it's virtually conscious, I would think. It would tell you that it was.
Tammy said they had some college kids use AI to write their papers for them. Yeah, they have all that stuff on like those article spinners and stuff like that, where you can just like have it compile a bunch of information from a bunch of different sites, and it spits out, like, you have to still read it because sometimes it says some weird shit. But
yeah, a lot of news articles were that from unknown newspapers, like random newspapers that you find. You'd see an article in there, and it was just sourcing. It was just quoting other articles and rejumbling it around.
Thank you, Jeffy Art. That's why, because that's one of the way they're like, oh, that's how you make money with like a blog, like a news blog or something like that, and you can have an article spinner, AI do the work for you. You basically say, I want to write an article about this, and it'll pull from all these different things. And like I said, you still have to read through it, because a lot of times I'm reading it going, my little grammar Nazi brain is going,
that's not right. Yeah. But evidently, the way the cutting edge shit is fucking awesome though right now. We don't have access to the cutting edge shit. Just they do.
I mean, the shit that they have now is pretty good. But the thing too is that a lot of times, the real good shit is like behind a paywall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like any kind of AI because there's a million different kinds. There's music ones, there's art ones, there's paper writing ones. There's all that kind of stuff. But usually they'll only let you have like the kind of lame ass shit for free.
Yeah.
And then you got to pay like a monthly fee for the
the ones that these guys are dealing with, I don't think you can pay to access them. I think it's just scholars and scientists dealing with it. And he didn't say it was available to the public, I don't believe. But he said it was good. He said it was real good. It's doing science. It's doing physics and shit.
Well, I mean, I've been pretty impressed with just like the stuff that they have out.
Yeah.
Just that's available to the public, so I can imagine that it's probably like a lot better than we know about. I was gonna say something, then I forgot what it was. So Xanada sent us movies, right?
Yeah, we didn't see them yet though. Bad Lieutenant and The Professional.
And The Professional.
And The Professional has the French edit on it too that I want to see.
Yeah, so that's one of the movies that we'll be talking about on Sunday.
Yeah.
I have to say though, because I think somebody brought it up on Wednesday night stream. They asked about Terrifier 2, and I forgot to mention that we actually did watch that because they added it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So
it's good.
I was like, yeah, I actually really liked it. Well, the thing about it was that, I mean, we loved the first Terrifier, and I really liked All Hallows Eve, too, which was the first appearance of Art the Clown. When was that from? That was from 2013, I want to say. That was like a anthology. But I guess because I had heard so much about Terrifier 2, and it's like, everybody's like, oh my god, it's the goriest thing ever. So I was kind of just, I don't know why I expected this, but I was expecting it to just, and I heard too that it was like long, it's like 2 hours. So I was like expecting it to be just like this 2 hour continuous bloodbath, and it's really not like that. There's actually like kind of characters and like a good story and shit like that. And then there's kind of like occasionally like pretty gory. And honestly, it wasn't...
That's not that gory.
It wasn't nearly as gory as I was expecting. Like, it had a couple things where I was like, oh, damn, you know what I mean? But it wasn't like, holy shit, I can't watch it. You know what I mean?
The level was just right.
Yeah. Because I heard, like, some people saying it's like, oh, I'm into gory movies, but, man, I couldn't handle that. I'm like, man, what was he? What was that? It wasn't that bad.
It didn't even make me that uncomfortable.
It wasn't that bad.
Human Centipede made me a lot more uncomfortable.
Well, see, I've said this before. Like, I can handle all kind of gore and broken limbs and all that, beheading and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't bother me at all, like in movies. But the second you start shitting in someone's mouth or making someone drink vomit or something like that, I'm like, yep, I'm out. Yeah. I'm out. I mean, I did a review of a book other day, if you saw it, like a novella, which was called 100% Match. And, that shit, it wasn't the grossest shit I ever read, but that was the kind of shit that I find like really disgusting. Like, hey, here's this guy who's just like a total scumbag, and he works at a fast food place, and he like shits in a bag and then like puts it in the chili and like serves it to people and stuff like that. Kind of stuff like grosses me out.
If you ever got to split, you got to go to work. All right, man, we'll see you later.
Okay, have fun.
Yeah,
have fun.
Gramthars in. What's up, Gramthar?
Hey.
Yeah, we were just talking about Skynet and everything.
I said, yeah, everybody saw Terminator.
Yeah.
We know what's going to happen. It's all right. Whatever. Like I said, I can't do anything about it, so I'm not particularly worried about it. I tend to just worry about shit I can do stuff about.
The danger is that it'll get rid of anything having to do with the professional office eventually. Office buildings, cities, because cities are the life support of the office building. That's why the city is there to support the office building. Those are all endangered because the jobs are endangered. You go downtown Orlando and look at those big fucking bank skyscrapers that have been there since the 80s. Those are mostly empty now. The offices are empty. Government buildings are mostly empty because they were built back when people had typewriters, teletypes and shit like that, where you needed 150 people in an office to get something done. Well, those 150 people are all replaced with 2 laptops. 2 people and 2 laptops. So you don't need all that empty space. Go down to Washington, D.C., it's empty. It's like a monument to the past. They're just... I don't even think they show up to work. I think they all work from home on laptops. But it wouldn't matter because those offices were built for back in the day when they had typewriters. That shit's gone.
John Gora said, I had mixed feelings on Terrifier 2. The gore was more funny in an in-your-face sort of way. Yeah, it did kind of go... It was one of those things, and I've found this with a lot of movies that are like super, super gory, is that once it goes past a certain threshold, it just becomes funny to me. You know what I mean?
Just sending us money.
Thank you, Gadgy3. Hi, you two. Half pissed, and my phone... That means drunk in UK.
In British.
In British English.
Yeah.
And my phone reminded me it's Friday. My niece's prego cat had 6 babies. Aw. My one is called Hobbs. Aw. As in Calvin and. That's pretty cute.
Okay.
Aw, you got it, Cady. Zach says, I'm just excited for AI to make life easier for us depending on the task. Yeah, it's like, just like any other new technology, like I said, I'm not super worried about it. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to have like a lot of unforeseen consequences, but it might have like some unforeseen benefits as well. So I don't know.
It'll have a bigger impact, I think.
I'm reserving judgment.
It's going to have a bigger impact than even the internet.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I'm just waiting to see what happens. Because like I said, it's not like I can fucking do anything about it. So I'm just kind of sitting back and waiting to see what goes on with it. And in the meantime, I'm kind of having fun farting around with...
Yeah. So there's going to be 2 jobs available once AI takes over. Janitor and hooker. That's it. Those are the only... And then the hookers are going to have to make do with the janitor's salaries. That'd be funny.
Well, I mean, once they have like robots that can do all that kind of stuff, then we won't even need
I have a feeling that you'd have pleasure robots. But I also have a
that's
feeling,
like the first thing they would make.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
They're already trying to make them basically with sex.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
It'd be easy, I think, to just put a robotic chassis in there. And then with the AI they're talking about, its language capability is supposed to be really good.
Yeah, so it'd be just like a real person.
Pretty much. Which I would think that the person probably wouldn't want that.
I don't know. I feel like probably
they would just want it to be like a porn star, not a real person. A real person, like, get me the fuck out of here, you fat motherfucker. They want that. They want it to just be a fucking programmed porn star. But I think it would go out of style real quick. It'd be like, that's not a real woman. It'd be like that. And it would probably be like much higher prestige to have a real girlfriend.
I kind of feel like that might be what happens, because look at what happened, kind of on a smaller scale with the proliferation of the internet and all this other kind of, and, streaming media and all this other kind of stuff. There was a not insignificant subset of the population who got all into like old shit.
Yeah.
Like started buying vinyl records again and like and building tables out of wood and shit like that, like getting back into doing that kind of stuff. So I think there's always going to be that drive in humans to not, like, if it goes too far in one direction, they're going to go, let's go back and do this harder shit. I got a feeling
a guy would probably buy something like that, like in that movie Cherry 2000. He might have something like that, but he'd probably get bored with it pretty quick.
Would you buy one?
Yeah. But you'd probably get bored with it real quick, though.
What would it look like?
I don't know. Just you could. Well, I would want one you could make it look like anything you wanted. You know what I mean? Be modular. You could change its looks.
Oh yeah, you could make it like Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, like Mr. Potato Head. Yeah. Put a different head on it.
You have a sex bot that looks like Mr. Potato Head.
Put a different head on it.
I meant in the sense that you could pull its arms and legs and head off and put different stuff on it.
I think. Yeah, we
put it and snap a different face on there.
We talked about it before. I don't think I'd be comfortable with one that was trying to look like a human. You know what I mean?
That would be kind of weird.
I think it would be too creepy. It'd be like having a dead body in the house that moved around. I wouldn't like it.
Yeah,
You know
it would be a little unsettling.
I'd probably be a lot better if it was like, something like out of anime, where it was, bright blue and it lit up. And,
you want something that looks kind of like...
Yeah, it looked like something out of a casino. You know what I mean? And it glowed. And
you'd have something with like tentacles.
Yeah, and it was so fucking voluptuous. It's outside human possibility. You know what I mean? Or that kind of thing, Or the legs are far too long on it. You know what I mean? No human could have legs that long, Because why would you be... bound by biology and reality. If you're making something like that, go straight fantasy. It'd be
Yeah,
like,
you could just make whatever you wanted.
It'd be like a. If you ever see that fucking hentai, Japanese cartoons and shit, I mean the proportions are insane. Not possible, but they'd be possible for a robot. Something that's not alive. You know, like they got Japanese cartoon porn that just fixates on fat girls, but no fat girl could actually be shaped like that. A fat girl with a fucking waist like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tiny waist and huge hips and huge bust. That's not possible, you know. Each breast the size of a fucking basketball. No, fuck that. Beach ball. Beach ball. You know, fucking areolas the size of dinner plates. You know. That's not possible.
It's like,
Yeah.
your nipples
But then
are as big as my head.
then the face is like the face of a skinny girl. No, it's not gonna happen.
Well, no. But,
Yeah.
some people like to...
Only in cartoons.
Sure. Well, like I said, that's the fun of cartoons, and that's the fun of
Yeah.
fucking around with that kind of stuff, is that
Right.
it doesn't have to look real.
Yeah,
it
it
can look
doesn't
like
look real.
can look like
So
whatever
I
you
would
want.
think that that's probably the way a lot of sex bots would go. The market would be driven to some kind of extremes.
Probably. Well, like I said, when we were scrolling through the dildo selection,
Yeah.
to get some props for the show, not this show, obviously,
Yeah.
but I like that they have like a whole line of what they call them, like monster.
Yeah.
They call them like monster
fantasy
dicks.
toys, yeah.
Yeah. So they do have ones that are like, because I think I showed that one like
Yeah.
on Wednesday, but that I can't even remember what that one was called.
Space Dragon.
Space Dragon?
I
Is
think
that
it
what
was
it was
Space
called?
Dragon.
And they have one that just like is a straight up tentacle too.
Yeah.
That's like the same colors. It's like blue and purple. It's really pretty actually. Because I was like, I kind of like the idea of.
They're going through Lovecraft shit.
Yeah. I really like the Lovecraft ones, but well, because you can put those on your coffee table. And they're decorative. Like they're not. I mean, everyone's gonna know it's a dildo. They're like, why do you have dildos on your coffee? But I'm just saying that you could just have them out and they're cool looking like art objects. That's why I don't really like. I've never been a big fan of like the ones that are like super realistic. I really don't like those.
You're right.
I think they're, even though like I
They're
said,
creepy.
yeah, like real dicks are
Jeffrey
fine.
Dahmer shit.
Real dicks are fine, but it's like I don't really want a super realistic dick like
Yeah.
sitting around the house like just all disembodied and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
like
very,
Jeffrey Dahmer, he had a whole bucket full of them.
Right, that's like really freaky to me. It's like I don't really like
Got a
that.
whole bucket of dicks.
I like ones that are like weird looking or
Yeah.
look like art objects,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, clear one.
Yeah,
Big
we have
long,
like
clear-
we have
clear
like
ones.
one that's clear, and we have
Yeah.
one that's like just like shut
Gloss
like glossy
black.
black, and then we have one that's like red and black.
Yeah.
But they have all kind of like crazy looking ones, and they're really
Yeah.
cool. Like they have monster ones, like in all different colors. They look kind of
Better
like
on camera.
yeah. Well, the one that I have that I showed like that blue and purple one that has like all the weird stuff. It kind of reminded me of. Do you remember like back in the 80s and 90s there was that big rage for those weird like those candles?
Yeah.
That were like carved and they were like all curly
Looply, yeah.
and they were all stripy. They like
Yeah,
they
I
looked
remember.
like that stripy like
Yeah.
ribbon candy. Like it kind of reminded me of that, and I'm like, I'm into that. Like it's not. I'm gonna say it's not like super practical or super functional in the way
Yeah.
that it's supposed to be functional. But it looks cool anyway. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's functional enough.
No, I have a feeling that the sex bots would be a rage, but it probably wouldn't last long. It would be like a fad.
Yeah, see, I
kinda
kind
go
of feel
style.
like that's why I don't get like all upset or outraged or like that about anything. It's like, oh, this new technology, oh, it's the downfall of humanity. I'm like, yeah, they said that about every fucking thing that came along, and we're still trucking. So
Yeah, it
I'm not-
passes.
that's what I mean. It's like shit never works out the way everybody thinks it's going to. And all of these like Chicken Little people that are just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this guy's falling. It's just like they just look stupid in
Well, I
hindsight.
don't think sex
so.
bots. I don't think Sky would fall with sex bots.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that
I
necessarily. but-
don't think it would stop dudes from getting married or anything like that. 'Cause
No.
they're not really getting married as it is.
Well, and the thing about a sex bot is just that, I mean, I guess you could argue if it's like realistic enough, it's almost kind of like cheating, but really it's just kind of like a really realistic sex toy.
Yeah, that's exactly. And here's the
Kinda.
thing:
And you
gonna,
can just-
you're gonna go walk around in public with obviously a sex toy.
Some people would.
You're gonna go.
What was that?
I'm gonna take my sex bot to the grocery store. She's gonna help me with the
I'm gonna
groceries.
take Vanessa to them. I'm gonna put her in the
people are
cart.
gonna like, you're bringing that?
Put her in the cart. Oh my God, we should totally do that.
Yeah, you're bringing that, dude. Don't bring that.
Once we start the channel, wouldn't that be fucking hilarious?
Yeah.
If we got like, if we were raking in enough money to get like a real doll or something like that, because those fucking
bring
things
a real
are expensive.
doll.
Yeah. And we'll just like, we'll put her in the cart and we'll just like walk around like it's totally normal.
I think having,
and see if anybody says
having something like that would eventually become synonymous with like being a loser. That's probably what. It would probably end up being a social faux pas to have some shit like that.
Well, I kind of feel like it already has that stigma about it. Because look, if you're a dude that paid, how much are real dolls? They're a lot, right?
1,800, I think.
Yeah, they're like a couple grand, I thought. And they are realistic, but they still are kind of uncanny valley looking, in my opinion. I haven't seen them in a while. Maybe they're better now, but it's just kind of like
you're trying to make it look too real.
Yeah, but like if you knew a dude and he said, "Yeah, I've got one of those," like you would just be like, "Bro."
Yeah, like a dude.
Like, why'd you spend all that money like on it? It seems like a weird thing, and it's not weird to me. Like for people to spend money on sex toys that are kind of like, if a dude has a fleshlight or something like, for example, that's not weird. Like a lot of people have those, but like when you get to a point where you're paying thousands of dollars for something that looks super, super realistic.
Yeah, like you're missing something in your life.
I'm just kind of like, are you sitting in your house talking to them like it's real or maybe not, but maybe that's not fair. But I was like, what do you do with her when you're not using her? Do you just like stuff her in the closet or do you?
Now, I might not know what I'm talking about. You might buy one of these things. And it's kind of like having a person in your house, but they're hilarious. While you're not having sex with it, it's running around and it's entertaining as shit. They might be saying funny shit. Or you don't know. It might be hilarious. Because there's probably personality modes, where we're going to make it fun and we're going to let it go. But does that take the fun out of it, that you have control over it, that you can dictate?
I think it might.
It's going to be a fun thing, and we're gonna let her run around and do whatever she wants to do, and she's just doing stupid shit.
Because I think most of the fun of interacting with humans is you don't know.
Controlling it.
Yeah, you don't control that person, so you don't really know what they're going to do exactly.
But then they might say, okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure you can't control this thing, so it's fun.
So it's like a wild card.
It's like, here, just take it. We don't. It's set. You just got to live with it. So it might be that. I'm sure these dudes are fucking geniuses at marketing. They're gonna fuck you. They're going to fuck you up. So they're going to figure out what makes a dude tick, and they're going to go for his weaknesses and come at you with this fucking, might be this delightful little fucking chick who looks real. And fucking, you get convinced that she's real. Like Joy from fucking...
That's what I was thinking from Blade Runner 2049.
She was just a hologram.
Yeah.
He should have known better. He wasn't real either, though. He was a replicant.
Yeah.
Which was kind of real, more real than a hologram. It was a person.
Yeah.
Replicants were people. They just weren't naturally created.
Right.
They were kind of artificially.
But yeah, she was a hologram. He could put her like on a little, like a little memory stick.
She seemed to be real.
Yeah.
He had feelings for her and shit. And then when he goes downtown, and he's a Blade Runner. He's a fucking replicant Blade Runner. And they had some replicant hookers make a move on him, and when that fucking little Joy device called him, and she goes, "Oh, you don't like real girls." It was like a faux pas that his girlfriend was a hologram. Right. That some dudes were buying these holograms.
Like I said, I can kind of feel like, and there have been a couple, other than Blade Runner 2049, there have been a couple of other movies, I feel like dudes that fell in love with like AI women. Like I think there was one called Her. That where a dude fell in love with like a woman. I think she was like on a phone, like she was an app on a phone or something like that. And yeah, they're always kind of portrayed as there's something a little bit wrong with them. You know what I mean?
Well, what was weird about what was the Blade Runner's name from Blade Runner? Joe. Was his name Joe?
Yeah, well that's what they called him.
Yeah, they called him Joe, but she called everybody Joe too. Joe was just a generic name, wasn't she? Wasn't she just programmed to call him Joe?
I don't actually remember.
Joy did. She was generic also. But he eventually realized that she wasn't real. Remember that? And that's when he had his breakthrough moment.
Yeah.
He gave his life to fucking deliver the information to Decker. about where the memories had come from, which was his daughter.
Yeah.
A half replicant, or maybe totally replicant daughter. The way I read it is that they were both replicants. Because, what was it? Not Wayland. What was the name of the... Wallace. Wallace Corporation wanted replicants that could multiply. Remember?
Yeah.
Tyrell started it.
Yeah. Gramthars asks when the new show starts. So, this weekend, we were just talking about this earlier. This weekend, like I said, we have a bunch of footage. I have to edit it together still. We did like some footage and we did some photos. I got to edit those and fix those up and everything like that. This weekend, we want to shoot some more stuff. But we were talking today that, you know, it's good to do all the video footage and stuff so we can have some clips up there to sell. But we think that the real money is going to be in the live streams,
Just live
like
streaming.
on StreamMate. So I was like, probably we need to start that sooner rather than later and just kind of like test the waters and see what's like, you know,
what's the income possibilities,
right, and just see what the income possibilities are. So
right.
I kind of feel like maybe not this weekend, but maybe like next Saturday night or something like that, we should like try it out. Do you think, or is that too soon?
Might be too soon. We have to get... Here's the thing. We don't want to open StreamMate until we have products to sell. We've got to have photos, and we need at least 3 or 4 videos. And those are going to go up on other platforms too. Well, we got to look at StreamMate's policies. Sometimes evidently they don't like cross promotion. And they don't, if you give them a video and you're selling it through them, it might have to be exclusive to them. Which means we might have to have more than one edit of that video so we can sell it on other places, because there's a couple other platforms. Now, my friends in the industry, Quinn, he said when it comes to video sales, if let's say you're looking to make $1,000 a month just on video sales, you're going to need about 100 to 150 good videos on all those platforms running all simultaneously, and you'll get residual money of about $1,000 a month. That was the deal. Like, I wanted to make $1,000 a month just in videos. Like, what does it take? About 150 videos, because it's law of averages.
Yeah.
You have to cast a wide net. You have to have good content. It has to be on all the platforms you can go, that you can be on. So, video is not the main earner. Main earner for us is going to be StreamMate, because even an okay channel can make $1,000 a week on StreamMate if you're doing 30, 40 hours a week.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. It's just like anything else. You actually have to put the work in.
Yeah.
But like
you don't
I said,
have to stream solid. You just have to put in hours.
Yeah.
And a lot of the players are also not only doing StreamMate. They're saying fuck it. They'll jump over to another one called Chatterbait, which is just wide open like Coliseum. But they're having just basically a talk show over there if it's couples. Some of them are just wild, just having sex. But that's like almost usury, because you're being watched by 6,000 people, and only 4 or 5 of them are paying.
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit for free.
Now, it might add up, you know what I mean? An hour, it might be fucking $300-400, but depending on exactly what happens. But, man, it's a lot of free people, you know, a lot of people up there just seeing shit for free. But they have some couples do real well on open sites like that. And they're doing well, and it's not really just sex. They're entertaining. And people are sending them tips for, you know, girls fucking titty flashing and shit. Just real stupid shit.
Yeah.
But it's funny. You got to be entertaining. And me and Jen can, you know, we can ad-lib. And if we're not handcuffed, and YouTube handcuffs you about what it is you can talk about, you'll get demonetized, you know. These places are X-rated. You can say whatever you want. So we could be actually a little bit more entertaining over there. But that's just one idea. You want to stream on several platforms. Live Jasmine. What's the Sext Panther. They say that one's pretty good, but I don't know if they allow couples on it. We have to figure out which ones.
Yeah, some of them are just like singles only, or some of them are women only, I think.
Yeah.
or you know, some of them don't do couples, but you know. But from all of our research we did, it seemed like StreamMate was the best.
It's like the best one
overall, like for what we want to do.
Yeah.
You know, so Gramthars asked, "Will it be weird having some dude in Belgium telling you what they want to see?" Not really, because everybody would just be on a screen. Like it doesn't. We don't know where they're from.
Yeah, we don't really care.
And it's just kind of like, as long as they don't tell me to do anything gross, I'm not really that worried about it.
And you see the way it works on StreamMate. The people watching can speak in public. The public show can't be X-rated. You can't do anything in public. It can be R-rated, but it can't really be X-rated. The people can speak. The people watching can speak in public by typing out, and everybody else watching can see, or they can text in private. So they can start private negotiations through the chats. If they want to go private, there's a bunch of different rules. Like you can set hourly per minute, like $4.99 per minute, and they may want something real quick, but they're only going to be there like 4 minutes, 5 minutes,
as long as it takes. Like I said.
Right.
They got
and
the
he's
tissue
already
on one
worked
side
out
and the
what he wants
lotion
to
on the
see.
other side.
That's one way you can do it. You can also do things like, okay, we're going to start countdown for a gold show. A fucking gold show. 1 gold is equal to $1. All right. Gold. The show will be. You can set the parameters. Show will be an hour long. We'll start the show when we reach $400. And then countdown. You set the countdown. If you reach $400, you can still let it roll, and then you can start the show. The people that paid get to watch. During the show, they can interact. There's a bunch of shit you can let them do. You can let them go cam to cam, but it costs money, so you can see them too. They can also send audio. In other words, they can talk to you live over the camera. The only people that are seeing that are the people that pay to see the show.
Yeah. So you don't get a bunch of freeloaders.
But you can change the parameters of the show. So some of that stuff can't happen. Like we don't want cam to cam. All right.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, we'll see.
Depends on how the regular.
We'll see when we get into it. Like, I wouldn't mind if it was somebody that, you know, was a regular and was cool and stuff. But it's like you just have some rando wandering in. It's like, bitch, I don't know you, and I don't know if I want to.
Camera comes on, it's fucking Jabba the Hutt, and motherfuckers crawling with maggots and shit. You don't want to see that,
right? That's what I mean. It's like, well, that just
you're like, oh, show's over.
That just made my lady.
Yeah, so you don't, so you can, you don't have to do any of that.
Yeah, they seem pretty like. I mean, you can. It's your stream, so you can pretty much do.
You do what you want.
What you want.
When you start in the gold show, you can say, "This is what's going to happen in the show. We're going to do this. We're going to fucking do toys. We're going to make out. We're going to do. I'm going to get head. We're going to do this. Blah, blah. All right, it's going to last an hour, and it's going to be open. We'll be able to talk. Different ways you can do the camera. You change settings. There's all kinds of change the sets. So it's you know, it's kind of natural the way it's going. If that's what you want to call it. If you ever seen anybody's recorded gold shows, it's like this.
Pretty much.
Like, hold on, let me move the camera. All right.
Yeah. See, it's pretty informal. Yeah, which, like I said,
informal.
Yeah. Which I think is what people like about it, because it's just like regular people, but you're getting to see them like do some stuff that you don't get to see regular people do.
Yeah, and during the gold show, they're also tipping. Some guys are tipping, like they got a request. Jenny, could you do this and that? Blow him. Okay, here's 20. You know. Just like,
okay, can do.
Just shit like that.
Gramthars says 30 to 40 hours a week, my skin would peel off. I'd have to get a script for Cialis to do this.
No.
Sometimes. But the thing about it is
not all sex.
Is that you're not just fucking the whole time. Yeah, Most of the time you're just like talking.
You're talking and waiting.
And just waiting for people to do stuff and just kind of like teasing around or just like entertaining people. Because I kind of feel like a lot of times, because like I said, we watched some recorded streammates, and most of the time, like, and some of them were, solo shows, which was just a girl, but most of the time they were just like talking and just like hanging out with the people. Hey, what's your face? Like, how are you doing? Like,
a lot of them are regulars.
Yeah, so because they have the same, like, they have fans just like everybody else, so it's like they just kind of talk to them and stuff. So they're not doing shit the whole time.
Yeah, no, it's just like this.
Yeah, like a lot of the times it's just like this, where they're just hanging out and talking
about their wives and shit. crying about the wife. There's all kinds of stuff. You know, she knows the wife's the girl knows the wife's name. Oh yeah, she did that, man. Fuck that.
Yeah, how's Gladys doing these days?
Man.
What a bitch.
Yeah. Want to pop my titties out? You ready to jerk off? So it's not just fucking helping dudes jerk off, right? Really, it's more of like fucking. It's almost kind of like fucking being a guidance counselor.
Kinda. It's like
Therapy,
therapy. Like cheap therapy.
Yeah. They have when it goes to stream mate, the average customer is middle-aged dude, married, not really having sex with his wife. That's the average. He's got a credit card. He's bored. All right. Nobody's talking to him. That's what it is. That's the average guy.
Yeah. So they just like, I mean, you know, it's understandable. Like the guy's just like, hey, I'm gonna go in this room and this hot girl is gonna talk to me.
Yeah.
And like kind of pretend to be my friend. Well, it's not saying pretend to be your friend.
I think they are friends.
Maybe they are. Like after a while, they
Yeah.
do kind of, you know, make friends with some of the people that are.
There was one cam girl I saw an interview with her. She got to know one of the guys, and she went to his daughter's graduation. She knew the wife and everything. The wife knew who she was. They lived near each other.
That's like pretty funny.
But it was just one of the ones that over the years that she collected.
Like I said, how weird would that be?
Yeah.
Showing up, it's
the
like,
stream mate girl.
oh, here's my wife, and here's the girl that I jerk off to.
Yeah.
When I can't get anything from you.
Yeah, right.
So you know what I mean? I can imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I don't know how I would react to that situation.
Some women shut the husband off, though. You know, menopause hits them, they get shut off.
Right, I get that.
And she don't care what he does.
But I get that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how that works.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
I mean, I guess she doesn't care because, like, otherwise, why would she have allowed that? To be invited?
You're projecting your
right. No, I'm just wondering. No, I'm just.
A lot of these women don't want to fuck that dude. They're sick of fucking that dude. They don't want to lose him because of the security, and it's like the husband. You know what I mean? She's like, yes, you please jerk off to her.
Just leave me alone.
Leave me the fuck alone. That's exactly what's going on. That's what mistresses were all about. A lot of times, mistresses and hookers that's what it is. You know, like that girl Ayala, she says that the average dude is like 65 and he hasn't been laid by the wife in a decade. She totally shut him off. Just no interest in him, and she knows. And she doesn't care. She's like thankful. Oh, good. Go have fun with her.
Yeah. Because
that wife knows that her 65-year-old husband isn't going to run off with some fucking 25-year-old hooker. You know what I mean?
As much as he might fantasize about it.
But she makes $1 million. Ayala makes about $1 million a year in hooker money. All right.
Well, hey, hooker money's the same as any other money.
That old fucking diabetes motherfucker. What's the other dude? Who's the actor from
Wilford Brimley?
Yeah, that's who we're talking about. Wilford Brimley is his name.
Yeah.
That Wilford Brimley motherfucker. You know, she's got 100 of those.
Yeah.
Why is she gonna choose him over the other fucking 99?
Well, and like I said, if she was going to choose somebody like as a life partner or something like that, obviously she would choose someone more her own age, probably.
Yeah, she
don't want like an old man.
She keeps 4 or 5 of those at her house.
Right.
Guys her age, and she says she has to kick them out and
all over
start
my couches
over
and shit
and start over because they start becoming parasitical on her.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they just lay around playing video games and don't clean up after themselves.
Yeah, and then they stop listening, so she has.
I can imagine.
She fires them and just replaces them with other ones.
You know what happens when a bunch of dudes all live in a place?
Yeah. No, she's open.
It soon looks like a pigsty.
She's open. She's intelligent. She's good looking. She looks like Liv Campbell, no, fucking Steven Tyler's husband. Steven Tyler's daughter. Liv Tyler's her name, right?
Husband, daughter, wife,
whatever the fuck they are.
Nephew, great grandmother.
She looks like that kind of. But she had cosmetic surgery done. She's pretty intelligent. Came out of a Christian cult. Became a cam girl first, and made a lot of money as a cam girl. Got burned out, just became an escort. And she makes a shit ton of money as an escort. And she's got Twitter, and she's on all the fucking intellectual circles and shit. But I follow her on Twitter. She says all kinds. She's doing surveys. She says fucking funny shit. One of the things that she posted was a photograph that was supposed to be poking fun at her customers, and it was all them fucking 65-year-old friendly brimble motherfucker diabetes motherfuckers on a farm fucking stood side by side going, "You sure are interesting." It was just some funny shit. They're up there telling her, "You sure are interesting," and the other hookers were laughing at them. Not really, it's not that they're...
Yeah, it's, you can't really laugh at the people because they're paying your
bills, but they're just kind of teasing the fact that their customers are old.
Yeah.
That's who has that money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's who has the disposable income to be just thrown away on bullshit like that.
She said she went low end. All right, for younger customers. She said they treat you like shit.
Yeah, no, I don't.
So she just raised her price to even get in the door with her. The first hour is $1,800. All right.
I don't blame her.
Yep, and it's $6,000 a day.
Like I said, you need. Yeah. You can't if you just go for the low hanging fruit and shit like that. You're gonna have a bad time.
Said when she raised her price, she had to work less and got more money and fucking got treated better. But I believe it. But it was old men.
Yeah.
It was old men.
I mean, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I would rather. I mean, I'm not into old men or anything like that.
Neither are they.
But yeah, well, yeah, I'm just saying that. Yeah. There's a lot to be said for people that actually treat you with some modicum of respect.
I saw an interview with her on YouTube. She was saying that, and fucking, I sent piece of that interview I sent the interview to Soph or I mentioned it to her, and she was laughing. She goes, "Yeah, women have a special power," but fucking Ayala said that she's so twisted that her psychology. She criticizes herself. She said her psychology is so twisted that she is able to get off on how ugly a motherfucker is and what a mismatch he is versus her. In other words, he's way too old, way too ugly, just fucked up. And next to her, she looks like a goddess, and she's getting off on that.
I get that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it, but I get how people could do that.
Yeah, so she's
like
she has no barrier to ugly. She has a mental strategy on getting off on how ugly some dude is.
I'm not. Well, the weird thing about it, and I think I've said this before, but it's I'm not really. I don't know. I don't really make that distinction because, like I said, if you're physically ugly, that doesn't necessarily mean if you're a really awesome person, then you seem less ugly. You know what I mean?
That's not what she was saying.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying. No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I'm just saying that women are a lot more complicated in that regard. Like you said, dudes tend to be more visually oriented.
Yeah, it's just what it
but
looks like.
Women are to some degree, but not as much. We can actually kind of finagle all kind of different situations.
Ayala says that she doesn't have the female strategy. She says her and she's kind of got Asperger's and shit. She's real you should listen to her. You'd probably fucking.
Well, the way you were describing her, I was like, that kind of sounds like me. So
everything
I was
is super analytical and logical, and she,
yeah.
She's very male, though.
I'm
in the way that she thinks. She knows she's like that.
I'm like that.
For her, it's all visual.
I told you my ex-husband used to call me Spock. Right?
Yeah, you are Spock. Yeah.
Disparagingly, and I was like, okay, but I'm taking that as a compliment. So
yeah, that's the way she is. But she's but to her, it's visual. She says she's on friendly terms with those customers. If she doesn't like them, she doesn't do business with them. She won't have them back. But they aren't people that she wants to live with or spend any time with. That much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
They're not like that. It's a different generation, and there's nothing really in common.
Yeah, I get that too.
And you have to cater to them.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of having to do that.
You're right, yeah.
Well, the thing about it too is that a lot of, what we're doing, we're going to be trading somewhat, on people who maybe see us as a little exotic.
Yeah.
Because of the goth thing. In general, those kind of people that are just ooh, get in your bed, you know what I mean? Those kind of people get on my nerves.
Yeah.
But I do kind of, I don't know, I get it, and we are going to be kind of taking advantage of that.
Yeah, but there's other ways that me and Jenny have discussed it. We're kind of natural doms. We're both doms. In our
We're
personal,
both assholes. That's what he's saying.
yeah, we're both dominant personalities.
That's why. Well, that's why we kind of like butt heads a lot of the time.
Yeah,
because it's like because you're trying to tell me what to do. I'm like, motherfucker, don't you tell me what to do.
People don't understand. I mean, they see me, maybe I look physically intimidating, or maybe I look boisterous and shit. And she gets mad. You guys don't understand that fucking she doesn't yield to me. I don't yield to her either. We're both very dominant. We fight, but not in the way that other people would fight. There's a battle of wills sometimes, but it's funny. It is, yeah. But it's funny to me. I don't take it seriously.
Because we are both very, very stubborn.
Yeah.
Neither one of us likes being told what to do.
Right.
So we both have a problem. Like if somebody,
and we don't like authority. Neither one of us likes authority.
No, and so it's just kind of like it's hard like to get one of us to do something that the other one because it's like well do this and I'm like no I don't want to do that because I'm just spiteful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
it
like
works
being
out though.
It does.
It works out.
Well, like I said, I mean, we've been together, 12 years almost.
Almost 13, yeah.
At this point. I think we've known each other for longer than that.
Yeah. Probably known each other for close to 14 years.
But we've been together since 2011.
And look, man.
Yeah, 2011.
Y'all bitches that have been married and everything, you're lightweights compared to us because me and Jenny lived with each other 24/7 within arm's reach for probably 8 years.
Yeah, we were just constantly on top of each other.
Like 8 years.
All the time.
We were like within arm's reach of each other, 8 or 9 years. And we didn't drive each other crazy, which is some weird shit.
Yeah, and the weird thing about it, the first time, do you know, a couple years back, well, it was probably like, how long ago was it when you went to see your dad with the whole turkey neck situation?
4 years ago, right?
That was the first time, and you ended up being gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That was the first time in a decade that we had been apart.
Yeah. It was like I was missing a twin.
It was so weird.
Yeah. And Pookie didn't recognize me when I came back. She's like...
Yeah, because he was gone. Well, I thought he was only...
Took her a few seconds to recognize.
Because the thing about, like, when he went...
Yeah.
It basically happened, like, in a day. Like, his dad called, and he's like, he needed, heart bypass and stuff, and Tom's like, shit, I gotta fly out there. So he flew out there, like, literally, I think it was the same day or the next day, like, we found you a flight. And he thought he's like, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. He's going to go through the surgery. We're going to see how it comes out of it. And it's like, so I was just like, okay, whatever, take whatever time you need. And then, so he was planning a week at first, but then like, his dad was still in recovery. So he ended up staying like another week because it was too expensive for him to fly back and all this other stuff. So that 2 weeks, like I said, it was so weird because that was the first time for the decade prior to that, we had been together pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just very, very weird, like you not being there suddenly. It was like super, super bizarre.
It was weird.
It was very weird.
Because I hadn't realized how long we had been together, and I mean really together. I said, well, we've been together for a year now. Yeah, but you work full-time jobs apart from each other. Jenny was working from the home.
Well, from 2016.
Yeah.
Like prior to that, I went to a job like a regular person, but
and I'm basically living off of fucking military retirement,
right?
Medical retirement, so I can stay home and just make money.
Yeah.
It's not enough to pay all these fucking bills, though.
Well, yeah.
It used to be, but not now. So we were together all the fucking time, and we had a lot of disposable time, so we're doing stuff in the clubs and fucking doing gangster business with fucking clubs and fucking gangster business and all kinds of weird. This is only a matter of time before we're natural entertainers, though. Gramthars knows. Me and Gramthars went to fucking drama school together, man. We did shows and shit. I couldn't be a professional actor like in the old school ways. They'd try to casting couch my ass. I wanted to be a real person. I wanted to go out and do real shit. I didn't want to be a professional pretender. Probably would have been better off as a comic. Comedian.
Yeah, I think you missed your calling on that one. I used to tell you like a long time ago, I was like, yeah, you probably should have been a stand-up
comedian. Should have been a comic.
I think you'd have been really good at that.
Well, I'm already kind of a comic now. I don't have to fucking go anywhere. Now I got YouTube. I just do those. And a lot of my heroes were comics. Eddie Murphy, Buddy Hackett, those guys. Fucking Richard Pryor.
George Carlin. I
think comics were more important than actors. They just because they could give their personal fucking flair. You knew what they were thinking. Fucking Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's a fucking master, man.
Well, and a lot of times the great thing about comedians is that they can actually kind of say uncomfortable truths, but because it's filtered through humor, like they get away with it.
It's the court jester.
Sure.
Court jester.
So, and I think that's a really
the Joker
important
card.
Like, I think people kind of, like, disparage comedians maybe, like, as being, like, frivolous or not that important, but I actually think they're very important.
That's right, John. Dangerfield was good, too.
Oh, yeah, Rodney Dangerfield.
He was good.
I used to, honestly, I haven't seen a lot of the newer ones, but during the 90s, I was all about I used to watch Comedy Central all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian England.
What's up, Ian?
It's Friday, baby. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, this seemed like the longest fucking week ever. I guess because at work, like, the other designer guy was, like, on vacation this week, so I had to do everything.
Another good one was Steve Martin, his silly ass. John Belushi was pretty good, man.
I even like Steve Martin, like, in his movies. Like, remember,
movies,
like,
the jerk shit.
Although I will go to my grave saying my favorite Steve Martin movie is The Man with Two Brains.
Yeah,
oh my fucking god, I love The Man with Two Brains.
I liked him as the sadist, man, from fucking Little Shop of
Horrors. Oh
yeah.
Like, he was only in that for like 5 minutes, but holy shit, he stole that fucking movie.
He was the sadist biker,
the dentist,
fucking dentist. Yeah,
so
he was a dom.
So fucking good.
Going back to what I was saying, is me and Jenny we're not scared of stream mates because we come from clubs where there's a big fetish element going on, and fucking we know people in the fucking BDSM community and that whole fucking lifestyle. They have their own thing going on, but goth and industrial and fucking fetish was fucking right there. That happened in the same clubs. So the whole thing that got us on this idea was Jen saying, "Yeah, I could be a dominatrix." We said this shit on the show. We started thinking about it.
Yeah, we were talking. I was like, "Oh my god, if someone would pay me to step on their nuts, I am all about that."
And I was going like, "Yeah, and I can handle security. I'll take you there." But then the more I was thinking about it, I was like, "Yeah, it's very 20th century actually going there. It's better to just do that shit online." I said, "Why don't we?"
Yeah, it's like then you don't actually have to touch anybody.
You don't have to go anywhere.
Gross.
Yeah, we just do that shit on StreamMate. Well, they got some fucking badass dominatrix on StreamMates. And they're not doing anything sexual. They're just talking dirty and fucking telling dudes to shut the fuck up. They had a Romanian one. What was his name? Bastet was her name. And she had a whole fucking throne set up. With
See, I need a throne, I feel like.
Shit. She had the room was black. Nice. She was in Romania. She had the fucking thick Romanian accent. Sounded like Bela Lugosi talking to a female Bela Lugosi. She started chastising some dude for being wrong, and he started sending her money, and she fucking took out a big old dildo and threw the shit on the ground. Pow! And then was filming it. That fucking big old dildo, this big old black dildo sitting on the ground, and then she starts squirting oil on it. And takes her feet out of her shoes. She had pretty little feet, and she's rubbing and rubbing it with her feet, and the dude goes ding 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 ding. He would send her $30.
See?
Like 2
and all
4
she had to
minutes
do
of
was
work.
like step on a dildo.
That's right. And then she told him to leave.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. You leave. You come back later. When I'm ready. Yeah, you come back later. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, good job, bitch.
See, like I said.
Handle that bitch.
I like that.
Handle that motherfucker.
Like I said.
So.
But I don't know. I just, because I think that, to me, that would seem like, yeah, I could be mean and stuff like that, but that would seem too much like, I like this kind of situation where we're just kind of like hanging out and just being our regular selves.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that is probably the way to go. Because if I have to go too much into acting or a persona or anything like that, it starts to become like less the pegging community. I don't even know if that's a specific thing.
It's not a community.
I mean, I feel like, well, I guess it's a community in the sense that there's a set amount of people that do it, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like that's probably a subset.
I ain't mentioning nothing, man, but there's these girls that I know, man, who've come up fucking and say, "Oh yeah, I used to peg him all the time and this and that," and fucking these dudes, man, are getting pegged by these fucking women. It's a lot more common than I thought it was. And
yeah, it's very common.
I was just going like, dude,
it's very common. Tom's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I get very comfortable. 2 things bother me, man: fucking pegging and sounding.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd
rather get sounded than pegged, but fucking...
Really?
Probably. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess I can.
Because if I was fucking real aroused, you know what I mean? It's fucking rock hard. and everything's lubed up. You start sticking something down in there. It might feel good. I got this weird idea that it might feel good.
I mean,
But
it's not a ton of
so
people.
fucking wrong.
Not a ton
so
of people
fucking
are
wrong.
into it, but there are like a not insubstantial chunk of people that are into it.
It looks like it itches.
I can't imagine what it would
It
feel
looks like man.
But
It made me very uncomfortable.
I mean, I sold a few sounding kits when I was selling this,
Yeah.
but I mean, I only probably sold one or two.
Y'all want to see some wild shit? Go to your
But-
browser and go look up Penelope Black Diamond sounding. All right, where she sounds her boyfriend, and she's this German porn star girl. She only works with her husband. Huge beach ball size implants and huge pierced labia. They're the piercings are the size of bracelets going through her, and she's pretty. Just freaky.
She is actually.
Yeah, and she's into like real long fingernails and toenails that curl over the fucking ends of her fucking. I think they're all false. I think they're fake toenails. I don't know how maybe you could live with toenails that long, but they curl.
Yeah, you
over
can't wear shoes. Well, you'd have to wear flip flops.
like 4-inch long.
Thank you, Murder Hornet.
What do you say?
Friday, keeping the flash bulb train.
Keep
going.
them flash bulbs coming, people. We're gonna drink all that shit up tonight at the club.
Probably.
I want
mean,
another drink, man, but I can't drink.
Can I have another one?
I gotta drive.
Can I have another one?
Yeah, let me get
I don't have to drive.
Okay.
I do have to put fake lashes on though.
All right.
So that should be super fun
And
after
your
I've had a couple
contacts
drinks.
have not yet showed up.
I was thinking about that because he ordered me some contact lenses.
And here's the thing: I'm looking.
What'd you get? Blue ones and
Blue ones and
green ones.
And I got records of the bank paying them, but when I go to that site, there's no record of me buying them
Uh-oh.
because I didn't make
An account?
an account.
Or are you
but
just
you
like a
didn't have
guest?
to.
Right.
So I don't know. I may do it again.
Tammy says Spock just moved. It might be because sometimes Pookie goes back there and like rubs on the side of Spock's leg. And if you can't see her, then it looks like Spock is going like that. Like by himself. Like Pookie for some reason like really, really loves like to rub on Spock's leg back there. So I don't know. Maybe it was her. John Gore said Elvira was kind of a dom. Yeah, she was. How she was always kind of glaring at the viewers like, what are you looking at, creep? Yeah, and she was always kind of like insulting people and stuff like that. See, I like that kind of thing because that was kind of like a soft dom. I kind of feel like she was just, not being like mean, but just kind of like low-key mean. And Victor's talking about catheters. Talking about putting in catheters. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like, it depends on, because the sounding kits, it's, it's much like a kit where you would get, like, just butt plugs or something like that, where it's just, like, it starts out small one and then, they get bigger and bigger. So I don't imagine, because some of the, like, smaller ones in the sounding kit are, like, pretty thin, so I don't imagine it would be that bad. And, like, Victor pointed out that he put in catheters all the time, so, I don't imagine it's super comfortable, but I can't imagine it being like super, super painful. I don't know. It's not real common, like I said. But we did like see some videos of it and Tom was just like squirming the whole time. Which of course made me laugh even harder. Like anytime we see any porn that like makes Tom really uncomfortable, I just like make him keep watching it. Because that's like very, very funny to me. Because I'm an asshole. But you know what I mean? Like I said, when we found that one with like the woman in the super high heels, like with the guy like putting his nuts through they had like a purpose-made box. It had like a hole in the top, and he like stuck his nuts up like, through the hole, and then she was like stepping it. Man, she was really going to town. She was like squishing them. I'm like, oh my god, are they gonna like burst like grapes? Holy shit! Let's find out. So I just like I wanted to see what would happen. So I was watching that, and Tom just like wah like the whole time, and that just like made me laugh even harder. Because I'm kind of a dick. But, yeah. Zach said, I Googled that chick once, and her tits gave me nightmares. The skin around the implants was all stretched out and weird looking. Yeah, that'll happen. Tammy said, oh, okay, maybe it was Pookie. Yeah, she does that a lot. She kind of goes back there and rubs on him. Because I've seen it happen a couple times just in the background. Like, he'll be like, Spock will be going like that. Because, Zach says some of the best prawn we found lately. Yeah, kitty prawns. We found lately is from Finnish dudes. They're into some strange shit, but I'm into it.
Let me steal a little bit of that.
Okay. Victor said, "Are we still starting a GoFundMe to give Tom $5,000 so Jenny can peg him?"
Ain't that some shit?
See, well, you said that you weren't going to tell anybody the amount, but then you did anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is look, that's $5,000. I'm talking about $5,000 for me. That's gonna come through what's called gold. They take 65%.
Okay, so you're saying
you're talking more like $10,000.
Okay, so you're up in the ante.
Well, it would be $10,000, and 5 of it we would get.
Like I said,
And Jenny could be doing that shit for free. I ain't letting you have none of
that. You would even give me any?
None. Zero.
Harsh.
Zero.
I mean,
that's the only way I can salvage my manhood.
I made that bitch peg me, and I took all the money.
Took all the money she didn't pay.
You suck.
I don't believe that shit's gonna happen. Man. I don't believe that shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, somebody would really have to have like a really lot of disposable income and really, really want to see you uncomfortable, or want to make me really, really happy.
She's trying to make this shit. She's a moneymaker. She's a moneymaker.
I know.
Damn.
You can't
I'm
best
gonna
me.
stop talking about it.
I know. Because like I said, people are gonna fucking pull their resources.
It's just gonna start fueling the fire.
It's gonna get around. It's gonna get around on the internet. It's like, hey, if we raise like this amount of money,
who chooses the dick? See, and then they're gonna.
Oh, and then they're gonna want to like
fighting that.
Hey, if I give you $1,000, like let me like choose the strap on.
Yeah, and then they're gonna start talking about that fucking bad dragon rhino. That's the size of a fucking coffee can. See, they're gonna talk like.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one. I've seen some of the other I've seen some of the other bad dragon ones, but yeah. I haven't seen the bad rhino one.
Yeah, it's a fucking one. It's like a rhino. It's like 3 feet long and about big around as a coffee can. They couldn't do it. It's just a gimmick. I don't think anybody could do that.
That's what I mean. It's like I don't know. I've seen some pretty...
there are some chicks that might be able to do that anal.
Yeah, I guess.
Girl from Argentina that could probably do that. I wouldn't call her a girl. She's a woman.
I just, not too long ago... I read a novella which was called Womb, and the whole premise of that, spoiler alert if you haven't read it, was this dude that was looking for a woman who, let's put it this way, was big enough to fit his entire head inside because he wanted to crawl back into the womb.
Now all the gays are saying how much GoFundMe takes, and then I get to pick out the dildo. He's trying to fucking get
He's going to pick out one like this, man.
Yeah. I know all of my gay fans would love to see that, but there's not enough of y'all. See, so I'm secure. I'm secure. My virginity is secure.
We'll see.
It is.
I'm just rubbing my hands together, just like
listen to her.
I told you I'm a little bit sadistic. I love you, Tom, but it's just, you know what I mean. But it is very funny.
She's mean, man.
I am kind of mean. Well, it's just very. I find it very funny, to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's just very funny to me. Like I said, the few times we watch porn that we're like, you know, that we came across like some sounding shit or like the woman stepping on the dude's nuts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, fucking
like I just wanted, he was just like
climbing the fucking walls,
squirming around, and I was just like, no, leave it on. That's just, it's hilarious. Yeah. It's hilarious. And I would just like laugh and laugh. You know what I mean? Fucking catheters. He has to pick out and to buy the dildo. Yeah, I mean, this I don't know. Like I said, I'm looking forward to this situation, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
She talking about stream meat.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the pegging. Although
you guys started on this shit, man. This hits me off.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you did kind of bring it up before because that was something that we talked about this even before we talked about it on the show. Because that was one of the things you brought up. Like, what if somebody says... I mean, the thing about it, though, is that when you're on StreamMate, you don't have to do anything that people say.
No.
Like, you can have... They have a thing where it's like, you know, tips. So you have a tip menu is what you have. And it's just like, you know...
I think you can send them back, too.
Yeah, you can.
Send back, yeah.
where it's just kind of like 5 gold for this or 10 or whatever, but like you can pick whatever you want to put on there. So it's like if there's something you don't want to do, you don't have to put it on your tip menu.
They got shows on,
and if somebody asks you to do it, you can go, hey, I don't do that.
They got shows on Stream Mates that are couple shows with a couple drinking, basically doing drinking games and flashing titties and just doing stupid shit for the drinking game, and everybody in
it's just like do a shot
drunk.
or
and the customers are drunk and the fucking people doing the stream are drunk.
See, that sounds fun.
So you never can't tell what's going on over there.
I mean, we'll have to look. I'm not really sure because I think that StreamMate, you can't just wing it and put like whatever you want on your tip menu. I think there's a preset list of things you can pick from.
Well, there's a lot of it's fetish oriented too.
Right.
Like one we got to have on there is fucking dick judgment.
Oh, is that one of the
things you could do?
What does that entail?
They got
exactly?
dudes that have this fucking microphallus motherfuckers that have this fucking this innate desire to show it to everybody and to have them rate it and humiliate it.
Okay.
All right.
I can do that.
Yeah, so for a certain amount of money, they are allowed through StreamMate to send you a photo of their fucking junk, and then you can rate it and talk about it to them, and they get off on it.
Talk about how we're gonna need the tweezers.
Yeah. So and evidently the ones that really do it a lot are dudes that fucking are tiny, and they want to be humiliated.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we definitely have
we don't know if that, and you would be no way of knowing if that was actually theirs too.
I mean, they might just be sending a random picture.
You know,
you can just pull one off the internet.
Yeah, motherfucker might be well hung and jerking it to you, telling him how small he is.
Tammy said, "We can humiliate men." Yeah, I can do that. No problem.
I can too. Yeah.
It's so easy.
Yeah. I can add a flair that only a man can add.
It's easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, we definitely have to have dick judgment. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I don't know what all of the options are. Like I've seen some of I know that there's some that aren't even sexual that are just like take a shot.
Yeah.
Like if you're drinking.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have to have that on there.
Right. Lick your own nipple. It's sucking things.
I can't quite reach my own nipple.
Yeah, you did pretty good.
I mean, yeah. I kind of can.
There's especially if you're upside down. No, I'm just kidding. But
gravity now that you put it that way.
Yeah.
Because if I was upside down, it would flop right in my fucking face.
Yeah.
That might help.
Yeah.
I didn't think of
that. No, now I've heard doing the research, the male performers were pissed because the selection
is mostly
set,
female oriented.
And it's mostly oriented towards female audiences.
But that's because most of the the bulk of the audience is straight men.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a large contingent of gay men on there too, but
yeah. But they didn't change the
options, right?
The options for the male performers. There's a lot of male performers on there serving the male community.
Yeah, I was watching. I can't remember what his name was, but he makes a lot of videos about. I think he does Chatterbait actually, and maybe StreamMate as well. But he was talking about it too. He works a lot. Like he works but he makes a lot of money at it also.
A lot of them are straight.
This guy wasn't. But
a lot of them are straight guys doing it.
Yeah.
It helps if you're fucking jacked. The top ones were, from what I saw.
Tammy said, "What? I can't see Tom lick his own nipple." I mean, probably.
I couldn't.
You don't think you could?
No.
No, probably not. You probably can't reach it.
The what was I saying? Before some crazy shit like that. Another thing is that when you go on StreamMate, the best thing to do is just block Colombia. Because Colombia is fucking jam-packed full of fucking people. Poor people. And pretty girls fucking grow on trees in Colombia. And so when you go in there, there's going to be 40 or 50 of them from Colombia sitting there, and they don't speak any English. And they just kind of jam up the airwaves. And they don't really seem to be getting a lot of action either, most of them. Just sitting there waiting. So I would
see, and I kind of feel like that's where we have a leg up on a lot of the stuff, because the streams that I've seen on there, a lot of the people are on for a long time, but most of the time they're just kind of like hanging out. Because the bulk of them are solo females.
Yeah.
So they're just going to be like laying there on their bed or whatever.
I've seen them fall asleep with the
right,
camera
and
on.
just like wait, or they're on their phone or whatever. And it's like I just kind of envisioned like, look, if we can't be just like entertaining and talking and stuff like that, then we should just get off and come back on like later.
Yeah. Most girls are not cut out for that work. They're on their phone. They can't socialize enough. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to talk to guys. There's no personality, no screen charm. So they're not in the game for very long. They're not entertainers.
Well, like I said, I think
you've got to be entertaining. Being pretty isn't enough.
And I think it'd be easier for us, too, because, like I said, if there's nobody in the room or nobody in the room is talking, we can at least talk to each other. And, us talking will spur them into talking. Yeah. So it's like, it's not just me hanging out, having to, like, entertain people. Yeah. Like, we can talk to each other, and I think that would be helpful.
Going through there, doing my research, they had a 68-year-old female British bodybuilder. I wouldn't say she probably IFBB quality, but not more like... bikini model, and she was working it. She was 68. She looked fucking great. All right, and she was working the crowd. She was getting a lot of attention because she was playing the old card. I'm an old lady. Look at me. And dudes were all over it. And she'd going private, come back, going private. She was on there for a couple hours. Every time I'd go check back and see if Steve was still streaming, and she was still getting guys going. So really, it's not really for young people per se. It's just anybody who can attract attention. And she was British. She had a real nice accent. She was funny. And she was just real charming. And she could just get these little going private acts, jerking them dudes off. So she probably made several $100s in a few hours there. Just doing that.
Yeah.
Probably didn't even take her clothes off.
Like I said, I mean, obviously, like, being young and pretty helps, but...
It can almost cause you to fucking get lost in the woodwork, though.
Because there's a lot of those.
There's a lot of those. They were going for that woman because she was 68 and she looked great.
Well, she stood out. She had something distinctive.
Right.
That's what I mean, because there's so many people on there, and like I said, young pretty girls on
There's
there
lots of them.
Are a dime a dozen.
Yeah, just look at Columbia.
You really, really have to do something to like differentiate yourself.
That's why I say just go ahead and block Columbia. There's just going to be these young pretty girls just sitting there doing nothing. You can't talk to them. They don't speak English. Yeah, man. They just... If you're a Spanish speaker, you might have fun with them, but they're just sitting there looking at their phones and they're not entertaining.
They're just like waiting for somebody to...
Yeah, their looks isn't enough.
Yeah.
People want entertainment.
Well, yeah, I kind of feel like that's why a lot, especially, StreamMate, which, like I said, seems to attract, like, a slightly higher echelon, I guess, or people with slightly more money.
You have to have a credit card to get on there.
Yeah,
to make a comment, so.
I mean, they're on there to spend some money and, like, spend some time. They don't just want to see somebody, jerk themselves off or, and jerk themselves off, but they want somebody, like, to interact with and somebody that's going to be, like, interacting with them, you know what I mean? So I kind of feel like we'll probably do well in that regard.
Assassin, is possible for men to locate you.
Lactate
is that what you said? Okay, I said locate.
No, lactate.
Yeah, they can. Dudes taking steroids can lactate. I've never lactated.
I've heard that. Yeah.
But, I heard.
Well, because all the same. I mean, men are built on a women's... I mean, all fetuses are female to start with.
And then they modify into a male.
So we have all the same shit. It's just,
But the... a dude, he said, can men lactate? Yeah, but not under normal circumstances. You have to be... have a lot of fucked up hormones. A lot of progesterone and a lot of estrogen in your system. But probably mostly progesterone might probably do it. And you could have high progesterone levels if you were taking lots of nandrolone, which is a synthetic copy of testosterone. There's things like the body reacts to whatever you inject into it. It tries to counteract it to make a balance. So if you start dumping a lot of fucking testosterone-like hormones or synthetic copies of things like testosterone known as steroids. If you start doing that, putting those into your body, the body might react in weird ways to try to balance that out. It'll try to fucking dump a bunch of fucking progesterone and a bunch of estrogen into your system, which can lead to gynecomastia, which means bitch tits, fucking men with tits. That happens. The Rock had that a little bit, but he got it corrected. You can cut it out. There are ways to chemically kind of stop that from happening too, through hormone blockers, estrogen blockers. But I've heard of guys lactating. But they're under very, very heavy cycles of fucking, I think it was nandrolone deca, which is one of the esters of nandrolone. It's a real common one. You can put on a lot of muscle real quickly. It's like super, super hyper testosterone, but without the side effects of testosterone. So it has a much higher overdose point. You can take a lot of that, a lot more of that than you could test. I think it was Deca that did that. But no, the dudes are lactating. They didn't grow tits, though. Just weird. The body's a weird thing.
Does all kind of crazy shit.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird when you think about it.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day that, I don't know why I had this weird thought when I was like driving to work the other day, but I was thinking that wouldn't it be weird if like all of your internal organs like became independently sentient and started like conspiring against you? Because I feel like that sometimes. Yeah. That some of my organs are doing that.
Okay, so it's almost 9 o'clock, huh?
It is, yeah. But Zach said, talking about male lactation, said, there's someone out there who's into that. I mean, I know for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's someone out there that's into everything, to be honest, whatever you can think of. But there is like a whole subset of like women's lactation porn, which, like I said, I never thought of it as being something that would be like interesting, but like we came across some one day and I was like, that's kind of hot. Like, yeah. I never really occurred to me that it would be, but I was just kind of like, well, that particular one was like,
yeah, you're talking about the one with the Japanese girl.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one that's particularly good. It's
man, she could spray.
It's a Japanese girl sitting on a chair on a black background, and just some dude who's shirtless, you never see his face, goes in there and just starts milking her. Mm-hmm. And she fucking sprays out huge fucking showers of the shit.
It was something else.
Over that background. And he starts slowly working on her, one and then the other, and builds up to it. And she's definitely getting off on it. Definitely. It looked like it felt good because he's good. He's doing a massage. He's doing his Japanese shiatsu. He learned that shit directly from Steven Seagal.
I was going to say.
Steven Seagal. Yeah, breast milk extraction. Expression. He's expressing the milk.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck, Seagal knew all about it, man. Fucking
I'm sure.
Yin and yang.
I do not want to be milked by Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd put that out there.
But if you research fucking like Japanese lactation, that's probably gonna be the top one. I don't remember.
I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen it.
That's a classic. That's a classic one.
It is a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that one actually. Because I was like, wow, look at her spray.
Yeah. Be like
she's like a fucking fire hose.
6 or 7 jets of it out of each fucking areola fucking spray.
I was like, wow.
And it was like
that's amazing.
Yeah, far too, like 5 feet.
Yeah, she got some distance.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And he's doing it like that, and it's just like bulging, and he's spraying it in her own face and everything. It was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know. It's just, I know we're mammals.
He's using that Oriental style.
I know we're mammals style. And everything like that, yeah. But it's just like, I don't know. I've just always thought, I was like, ew, like you can make milk with your tits. That's like super weird.
Yeah.
Like it's not weird, but it's, I don't know. It seems kind of weird. You know what I mean? Murder Hornet said, I need to refill my test. Okay. Yeah. Victor says all men are trans. Probably. I mean,
All men are trans? No.
Yeah. I mean, we're not as far apart as. It's not really that different. It's
yeah.
not really that different.
Well, there's a lot of differences.
Yeah, but there's a lot of similarities as well.
Well, we're the same species.
Well, duh.
And that goes. I'm
not speaking for everyone here.
Yeah.
But I've met a few people that I think were probably not the same species, but you know.
The male-female division is pre-human. It goes way back into fucking single-celled organisms doing this shit through what they call it, sexual reproduction. It started in the single-celled organisms, and there was sexual differentiation between them. But definitely
not so much
mammals.
Not so much in single.
Not so much single.
No, because they just single cell. They just split off.
You really see the difference. It started in things like fish and reptiles. You see a difference. Although some reptiles can change sex.
Yeah.
Snakes.
Yeah, some amphibians can too.
Yeah.
And some fish can.
Yeah. I don't know if they can do it more than once. They could probably only do it once.
No, it's not. It's actually not that uncommon.
But can they do it back and forth?
Some species can, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Just whatever is necessary at the time.
Right.
Zach says, I'm definitely not the same species.
Yeah.
I feel like that sometimes, too. I feel you. I get where you're coming from. I kind of feel like I'm not from this planet, so... I don't know. I feel like maybe a lot of people feel like... Do you ever feel like that?
What's that?
That you're not from this planet?
I don't worry about it. I'm so myopic. I'm so worried about myself that I don't care if I belong here or not.
I'm so self-absorbed that I don't even give a shit.
I give a fuck if I fit or not. Just
Well, at least you realize how self-absorbed you are.
Yeah,
that's something.
Yeah,
that's step one to getting better. Tom. But no, I don't know. Maybe it's just that I hope that I'm from another planet so I can go back there someday.
All right, look, let's go ahead and end the show, Jen. We're starting to get ready because we got to leave in a bit.
Yeah, because we're actually going to go to Memento Mori.
You got to get ready, dressed, and you got to put your eyelashes on. And
all I have to do is put my shoes on, put my eyelashes on,
and I got to help
and you got to
tighten
tighten the corset.
All right,
and then it'll be. Well, probably I should go to the bathroom because before I put the corset on.
And then we'll get out of here.
Let's see. We'll see how fun. We'll see how funny it is. Me trying to put fake lashes on.
All right.
I'm not drunk,
right.
but I'm a little bit tipsy.
She's looking so fucking hot. If I wish I could get a fucking film of this, man. Man. I'm trying to hit, man. We can make money right now. We're gonna make money.
Well, I told you, like we started. You were texting me at work today.
I got this shit on video, man. I'm going fucking crazy on this shit, man. And I look huge in the fucking upper. I look back and I was like, man, this looks like bestiality. It's like you and a bull. How the fuck did it happen? I don't know. Just the sexual dimorphism. Yeah, I'm starting to become a baboon. I look like a fucking baboon, man.
Yeah, it does look like
it looks like a fucking baboon.
It's not that bad. You're not all furry or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way you're going at it, sure.
Yeah,
it does.
Fucking baboon.
It does kind of look like I'll show it to you again tomorrow because, like I said, we need to sit down because I want you to help me edit it.
All right.
Because you're in the shit too, so I want you to. I want you to collaborate with me on it. You know what I mean?
They only have to be about 15 minutes long.
I mean, the stuff that's just me, I don't really care, but you know what I mean.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you some of that that I made.
All right.
While you were
here. Let's shut it down, Jim.
Okay, we're gonna shut it down. And then on Sunday we'll be back talking about. It'll either be Bad Lieutenant or The Professional because Xanada sent us both of those. So we're going to watch one of those probably tomorrow night and we'll talk about that on Sunday. So hopefully you guys have a good rest of your Friday night. Have a good day tomorrow. And we will see you guys again on Sunday evening. Good night.